Analysts are keeping an eye on Iran and Libya this year when it comes to the oil trade. Here to talk to me about that today is Michael Peterson. Michael, thanks so much for being in studio.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So, Michael, when you look at Iran and Libya coming back online, do you think that this will upset the global balance of oil supply?
You know, it very well could. Who knows exactly what's going to happen in terms of the conflict? These are areas of the world that are certainly not garden spots. I don't know that anyone has a huge amount of clarity as to what will happen. Structurally, though, given what's going on in OPEC, there's a real possibility that the price floor that we've leaned on for a number of years may not be there.
Right, and when you are talking about the price floor that may not be there, how do you think that the United States is affected in this situation, the WTI crude versus the Brent crude world?
Well, I think we'll see a couple of things. First, Brent could very well show some weakness as the global benchmark for prices. WTI has some fundamental factors that may very well narrow to, let's say, a $10 differential relative to where we are now. We have some capacity that will free up mid-con transport to the Gulf Coast. Generally speaking, though, I tend to think that both commodities will range trade as we've seen for the last couple of years. But as we just mentioned, there really is a downside risk that wasn't the case some time ago.
I'm wondering, though, in the first quarter, how much do you think Libya and Iran do affect prices in the first quarter of this year?
I think very little. I think the expectations will be reflected largely in the forward strips, and we see in terms of downward slope a much greater degree of slope than was the case this time last year. So the market is pricing in that potential, but I think there'll be very little. I mean, it would just take a long time to get those barrels in a meaningful level online, particularly within the first quarter.
Sure, so it does seem like something that we will kind of look into the future for, but for now, maybe not too much of a worry. Michael Peterson, thanks so much for your take.
It's my pleasure.
For TheStreet, I'm Deaux.